There used to be a time when I thought we were safe beneath the surface, that everything was going to be fine as long as we laid low, didn't disturb the Ark, kept our heads down, and scavenged whatever we could. But things have changed for the worse. Every day the Ark finds new ways to kill us, assault us, and harass us, and they are relentless in their pursuit. There is no negotiation, no mercy, and no understanding. These metal monsters want nothing but our destruction, and they use everything at their disposal to achieve it. I decided it was time to take matters into my own hands. No longer would I hide and cower while topside. No longer would I run and choose the path of least resistance. No more. These metal monsters will learn to fear us. They are smart. They can learn. And what I'll teach them is a lesson about human courage and perseverance. There was no time to waste, so I decided to use everything I had learned from my experience topside and every tool at my disposal to kill the Ark and end them once and for all. But, as with any beast that has ever hunted us, I realized that I had to go fully feral. Use the same tactics our ancestors used thousands of years ago when hunting saber-tooths and foraging for berries. These things can learn to fear us too, and the only way I know how to make that happen is by taking on their leaders. Kill the biggest foes, annihilate their strongest units, and they will back down. This is how I became an Ark Raider. The Matriarch is a tough opponent. They have giant bodies, are equipped with nightmarish weapons, possess incredibly durable armor, and, if that wasn't enough, they can call in reinforcements. This wasn't going to be easy, but if we were to survive this hellhole we inherited and reclaim our place in the world, this entity had to die. I didn't have the best equipment, but once I heard the Matriarch's call in the distance, I knew I had to act. That was my sign, and the raiders needed my help. Upon arriving at the head house, I learned that other people were already gathering there and we had decent numbers on our side. As I approached the battle, a leaper fell into the depths of the head house. This is the best they have to offer? These things are supposed to be more intelligent than us? Look at them. They can't even understand positioning and gravity. Laughable. This is going to be easy, I thought to myself. Once the mayhem started, I ran towards the sound of violence and destruction to aid my brothers in arms. Without hesitation, I rushed into the fog of war and unleashed a barrage of bullets, making sure my brothers had their backs covered. First order of action, establish a perimeter, make sure there are no surprises. I saw the smaller units harassing the other raiders and started blasting them to bits. I've seen one too many times how these things operate. They surround you, wear you down, strike you when you're vulnerable. That wasn't going to happen here. I would not allow it. As we fought the Matriarch, more and more enemies joined the fray, trying to outnumber us, trying to intimidate us. But we would not relent. We would fight to the bitter end. I decided to get a better angle on the Matriarch and attempt to weaken its legs. Some of our brothers were injured, but luckily, most of us came prepared, and we managed to get them back on their feet. If we were going to win this fight, we needed every man standing with a weapon in hand. Not even a moment passed before the Matriarch called in even more Ark, a bastion, a beast made of pure hate and fire, armored almost perfectly and equipped with deadly weaponry designed to suppress and control. Fireflies, wasps, hornets, even ticks. Nothing was going to stop us, for our mission was greater than any pain we might have to endure in order to achieve our goal. Finally, an opening presented itself. The Matriarch's armor had been penetrated, exposing the vulnerable core inside. Now was the time to press forward. We had to make every bullet count. As if one bastion wasn't enough, the Matriarch called in a rocketeer as well, flying beasts armed with devastating firepower. Things were looking dire, and we were running low on ammunition. Our only chance was to hunker down and fight tactically, or risk being obliterated by the bastion and rocketeer combination. As my brothers fought the Rocketeer on the eastern flank, I decided it was time for a surprise attack. A precise, powerful strike from behind, aimed directly at its weak point beneath the armor. Things didn't go as planned, so I had to reposition and reassess. The massive beast was beginning to smoke, and everyone focused fire on it to hasten its downfall. We would deal with the smaller enemies after we killed their leader. It took more bullets and more firepower, but with enough pressure, we drew closer and closer to victory. And just like that, the great beast fell. In an explosion of fire and metal, the matriarch finally collapsed, and the final cry of a fallen titan echoed across the blue gate. Now all we had to do was eliminate the remaining forces, already crippled, and achieve total success. With one final bang, we destroyed the last of the Ark and officially claimed victory. It was a brutal fight, but nothing can stop us when we stand together. This was only the beginning. Soon, the Ark would learn to fear us, and I would personally make sure of that. After collecting my share of the spoils, I decided it was time to retreat and report back to Speranza. They need to hear of our victory, but not before entertaining my fellow raiders with the song of my people. The second leader of the Ark was the Queen, another creature forged from metal and pure hatred for humanity. As I entered the damn battlegrounds, I was immediately greeted by its roar in the distance. That could only mean one thing: someone had already started the fight. This time, I came prepared, carrying a proper weapon designed specifically to annihilate the Ark, a gift from Speranza after I confirmed my matriarch kill. This weapon was a testament to human ingenuity and teamwork. If the Ark could learn and adapt, then so could we, and we would use their own technology against them. Humanity would prevail. As I crossed the Red Lakes, I saw more raiders joining the fray. The call to arms signaled by the beast's roar had echoed across the map. Taking inspiration from my fellow raiders, I positioned myself for a tactical assault. The Harvester would be the perfect location, close to the target but with enough room to maneuver across the battlefield. Using knowledge from previous encounters, I unleashed a barrage into the Queen's legs. I had heard other raiders say that these experimental weapons were highly effective at stripping Ark armor and exposing weak joints. The beast was enraged by my attack, and I quickly took shelter inside the Harvester before meeting a terrible fate. Little did I know, however, that the inside of the Harvester was far less safe than I had assumed, a tactical error on my part. I scrambled to escape before being burned alive. After taking a few seconds to regain my composure, I returned the favor. 1 leg down, 5 more to go. After careful observation, I repositioned myself on top of the Harvester. From there, I could move as needed, take shelter inside when necessary, and avoid the intense heat whenever the Harvester unleashed its flames. The plan was working surprisingly well. The execution needed polishing, perhaps, but that would come with experience. While taking shelter inside a harvester, I decided it might be an opportune moment to search for supplies. And voila, my search proved fruitful. Inside the storage cabinets, I found energy ammunition, exactly what my weapon needed. Things could not have gone better. The Queen was clearly panicking, unleashing blue energy blasts meant to stun or neutralize nearby enemies. That was a sign we were cornering it. Good. After several more close calls and tactical mistakes on my part, we finally found an opening and attacked its eyes. Maybe blinding it would slow it down. Things were looking dire for the Queen, but just as I prepared to unleash the final blows, the flying terrors appeared. As a final desperate measure, the Queen had sent its minions to burn me alive and deny me the satisfaction of victory. As the Queen drew its final breath, I was forced into a tactical retreat or risk sharing the same fate. After recharging my shield, I returned to finish off the remaining stragglers and confirm the kill. One of my brothers noticed my injuries and offered first aid, stabilizing me. I knew I could count on them. After analyzing the Queen's cold, empty husk, I decided to return to Speranza and once again inform them of our victory. Our people needed hope, and this victory would contribute greatly to the war effort. Once the mission was over, I retreated to one of the apartments in Buried City provided by the office. They said I needed to be rewarded for a job well done, but I didn't do it for the rewards. I did it for my people. I did it out of spite for the Ark, and I did it for those who would come after us. The aggression has subsided considerably, but there were still occasional stragglers left behind here and there that needed to be put down. Who knows? Maybe Speranza will need me again one day, and when that day comes, I'll be ready.